So, hi, Sally.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Very excited to be here and very excited that people want to hear a little bit more about this retreat that we're going to do next March. And
Yes,
I just thought this would be a really good opportunity to dive a little bit deeper, talk through the program, and explaining exactly what we're going to try and do. So perhaps you'd like to,
perfect.
yeah. Do you want to start chatting about the main things that you think are going to be important? That we're going to be doing.
Yeah, I think really what we're talking about is getting out of the everyday. We know that every day has lots of distractions and lots of other people who are distracting us, and giving people the chance to really have time to assess where they are and think about the years ahead, the next chapter, what they might want to achieve, whether it's a small or a major life change. To have time to discover lots more about wine because we're in wine country and we have wonderful wines, but also, more importantly, how it fits into a healthy lifestyle so that we can have a guilt-free glass of wine. And also, time to learn your area of expertise, yoga, that really looks at detox, balance for the mind and for the body. So I think a long weekend giving us all of those things will be time well spent.
I think it will. And it'll be a small group, so a time to make new friends. And we're going to be in the absolutely glorious vineyards of Saint Emilion that you know very well, Sally, on your doorstep. And so it's going to be this mixture of a retreat in the sense getting away from things, exactly what you said, and to examine all these new possibilities, but also a time to really enjoy ourselves, lovely wine, great food. We're staying in a gorgeous spot, and this chance to exchange and learn from each other, which I think is going to be really fun. Sally, would you like to run through the major points that you're going to cover based on your expertise in your book?
Yeah, so for those who haven't or already been aware, I wrote a book last year based on my experience of making a major midlife change, starting studying wine at 52, which led to creating a winery here in Bordeaux and opening a wine tourism venue and so on and so on without any previous experience. So, sounds a little bit mad. It was, still is probably. And so, what I did in the book, and I would like to do during the sessions, is really have a very interactive workshops, but still very, very impactful. We're going to get somewhere in these workshops in the idea of we're going to dive into what's driving you at this stage in life, because it's really important for something to be fulfilling, to be guided by the drivers. Up until midlife, we're normally dancing to someone else's tune in terms of paying mortgages, sorting out children, pleasing people, whether it's our boss and friends and family. And now is really a time, and this retreat is a perfect opportunity to step back and think, okay, this is my time. What do I really want to get out of this, and what is really important for me? And that can be from a financial standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, practical, material, and so forth. And then we need to think about, our confidence and our fears in actually making a major change. First off, we're going to say, well, I'm too old, or I don't know anything about it, or what will people think? Have I got enough money? All of these things that pop up immediately in our brains. And I certainly had those fears too. But so we want to work on conquering those fears and building your confidence so that you actually believe you can make that change, whatever it can be. And let's face it, we're not talking about everyone here turning to creating a vineyard. We're really looking at everyone defining their own dream. So we'll have a process of people to define what that dream could be, but then to build the confidence and to really understand by the time we get to this age, or a bit younger than I am, we have really done stuff and we've experienced stuff and we've survived stuff. So we've got so much creativity and resilience, and we need to understand how we can transfer that to a
Mm.
new and exciting adventure. And so we'll work through all of that in a workshop, and then we will take that and we will look at how we're going to make that happen. So create a roadmap that you can go away with and actually start putting it into practice. So it's going to be very personal to you with your own personal goals in there and also adapted to your own personal levels of comfort or risk. Because not everyone has the same, problem or love of risk, and so that will be really a roadmap that you can take away with you and start the new journey. So that's what I'm going to cover.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to listen
And
too.
that's it.
But what I'd like to bring to the party is, apart from wine, so I've written a book too about wine and wellness. So, parallel to all this, I'm going to run some yoga sessions. It'll be nice, very accessible yoga. But also, what I'd like to do in the yoga sessions is to have some quiet time again. So, to take a little bit what we're learning from you and then to take a step back during the weekend, do some yoga to center ourselves. And with the yoga, I'd like to show people how to have a quiet time, how to have a space, how to make space in your mind and in your body. So we're going to have a little bit of an adventure on the yoga mat. It's optional, it's not obligatory if people aren't comfortable doing yoga, but it is a lot of fun. So we'll have some fun yoga. We're also going to taste some delicious wine. We're going to visit your vineyard, Sally, which is extremely important, and also the vineyard. We're staying in a vineyard in a gorgeous chateau. So we're going to have some wine tastings. So as well as being confident about moving forward in the next stage of your life, you'll become much more confident about tasting and choosing and enjoying wine. And I want to put that in the context of wine and wellness. So, as you said, so we don't feel guilty about having a glass of wine. So, exploring a little bit exactly what it means to live a healthy lifestyle. So, to become aware of how wine can be part of a healthy diet. And it's something that both of us, I know, are very passionate about because we've got this joint project together called Wine and Two Veg, where we talk about integrating wine with a sort of a plant-based diet as well. So there's going to be a bit of wellness, quite a lot of wine, some yoga, and lots of exploration about building on all these fabulous qualities that we've managed to build, and reassuring ourselves that we have this capacity and this experience that we can build on. So we will go away with lots of ideas. We'll go away with this roadmap, but also copies of our books, a little bit of wine knowledge. And I thought perhaps just to reassure people, just an introduction to how we're going to structure the weekend briefly. So the idea
Yeah.
is to arrive in the afternoon of Thursday afternoon, and we'll have a little sort of tea and chat, and there might well be a glass of wine with supper or two, to sort of set the scene as a bit of an icebreaker. And as I said, there'll be optional yoga in the morning. And then we'll dive into these workshops. So starting with your workshops that we've talked about, and then alternating with your workshops, your personal growth workshops, and a little bit of wine and wellness. That'll be the Friday. And then on the Saturday, we'll go off exploring. So the day on the Friday as well, we'll do that introduction to wine, but we'll go off exploring. So we'll go into Saint Emilion, which is gorgeous for those of you that haven't been there. It's a medieval town, beautifully preserved. So we will go into the vineyards of Saint Emilion and Fronsac, where Sally is. And then we'll come back to our lovely chateau that we're privatizing for the weekend to sort of draw everything up together. And we shall finish after breakfast on the Sunday. With a little bit of extra time for those of you that want to hang around on the Sunday. So it's structured, but it's not rushed. And there's some private time as well, because there's going to be a lot to process, I think. Have I covered
And
it?
also, depending on the times people arrive on the Thursday. So, like you mentioned, when people arrive, we'll have a little welcome tea and get together. But also on the Sunday, if people want to stay a little bit longer, there will be time during the time together to have one-on-one sessions. Because I think that, from my perspective, when we're looking at this life change, that lots of individual personal questions may crop up that either we don't have time for in the workshops, or you may not want to ask in front of other people. I think it's going to be a super safe space, and we're all going to be very like-minded, and I think that will be very bonding. But if there is something that you want to dive into, which is more specific to you personally, then we can find time on the Sunday to do that, or even Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning after breakfast. We've got time for that. And I think that just wanted to mention that because I think somebody may need that extra little bit of one-on-one time. And potentially with you too, talking about their specific wine and wellness questions.
Very happy to do that. And if you want to know more, we're both on social media, probably Instagram. DMing me on Instagram is probably easiest. We'll put the links below. And then for those of you that haven't seen it, there's all the information and the pricing and the dates and everything about the retreat on the website. So again, we'll put all those details below so you can have a look see. And I said, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Only too happy to explain further.
That's right. And the idea really is very much about flourishing, that we want to give you all the tools to be able to flourish. And you're going to go away with all kinds of things. So you will go away with a blueprint of the steps to take to create your new chapter, however big that change may be. You're going to get signed copies of our books, both our books. A really good understanding of how to enjoy fine wine as part of a healthy lifestyle, and that doesn't mean drink that you want to if you want to drink a lot as part of a lifestyle, but really integrating it into part of a healthy way of living. Some really good yoga tools and tips for flexibility, strength, and balance, and some super memories too of spending fab time together with a fab group of people.
In sunny Bordeaux. At least we hope it'll be
There
sunny.
we go. Can't guarantee the sun, but we can guarantee you'll be flourishing.
There'll be sunshine in the glass. There you go. Love it. Super. Well,
Well,
really look
hopefully,
forward. Yeah, look forward to seeing everybody there. I'm very excited about doing this in.
yes, absolutely. Look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks so much. Thank you.